Imagine you're a woman who's been in love more than once, but something always feels unfinished. You've given your time, your heart, your presence, yet he pulls away or loses fire. And no matter how perfect it looked from the outside, shared jokes, long talks, chemistry so thick you could taste it, something invisible snapped. What if I told you that men fall in love not because of what you do, but because of the mindset you cultivate? Napoleon Hill, the master of personal achievement, teaches us that love, like success, is attracted by clear purpose, faith, and emotional dominance over circumstance. Today I'm revealing the unseen habits that make men fall deeply in love, even when you don't realize it. Ready to learn the secret of true magnetic power? Before we go further, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's co-create a space of women who rise in power, not in performance. Think of this like gardening. You don't yank a flower out of the ground to make it grow faster. You nourish the soil, water with intention, and trust the roots. That's how real connection forms. It's not in the chase, not in the proving, it's in the presence. Napoleon Hill said, "You become what you think about." Well, when your thoughts say, "I am the prize," your energy follows, and so does he. Maybe you've noticed, men don't fall for women who try to be unforgettable. They fall for the ones who forget to try. And here's a fun challenge for you. Drop this in the comments. Own, attract, repeat. Say it out loud. Show him. Show the universe. Show you. Because what we're about to uncover isn't about doing more, it's about becoming more. Stay with me, because next we're diving into the most overlooked emotional magnet that pulls a man in on a soul-deep level, and it starts way before he even knows why he's looking your way. Number 1, definite desire for emotional connection. Let's start where all true transformation begins, with desire. Not the desperate, clinging kind that leaves you drained and doubting, but the kind that glows quietly from the inside out. Napoleon Hill said it best. The starting point of all achievement is desire. And yes, that includes love. Not just career success or wealth, emotional connection, real devotion, that head-over-heels energy you crave. It all begins with desire that's not about someone else, but about you, knowing exactly what you want and believing you're worthy of it. Now, let me be clear, this isn't about daydreaming for a man with abs and ambition who texts back in 5 seconds. No, this is deeper. Hill wasn't talking about surface-level cravings. He meant desire as a decision, a definite, unshakable inner commitment. Most people confuse desire with obsession. They say, "I want love," but their energy says, "I hope someone picks me." That's not desire, that's fear in a dress. True desire says, "I want deep emotional intimacy. I want connection built on respect, not attention. I want to be loved for the truth of who I am, not who I pretend to be." And then you act, dress, speak, walk, and breathe in alignment with that truth. Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine used to write endless lists about the men she wanted: height, job, sense of humor, the whole Pinterest board fantasy. But every relationship kept falling flat. Why? Because she had no idea what she truly desired on a soul level. Her energy was broadcasting confusion, and that's what she kept getting back. The moment she got clear, not on who he should be, but on how she wanted to feel, things changed. "I want a man who makes me feel safe to be soft," she told me one day. That sentence? That was the moment her energy shifted from vague hope to powerful intention. And wouldn't you know, a few months later, a man walked in who did exactly that. Here's where Hill's wisdom comes in strong. There is one quality which one must possess to win, and that is definiteness of purpose. When you don't know what you want, you become magnetic, to whatever wants you, and that's how you end up in situationships, confusion, and emotional breadcrumb trails. But when your desire is clear, you become a tuning fork. The right frequency finds you. Let me answer the voice in your head that might be whispering, "But what if I've been wanting love for years and it still hasn't come?" Beautiful question. Wanting is not the same as deciding. Desire becomes power when you decide you're worthy of what you want, and you stop negotiating that worth for scraps. As Hill would say, desire must be backed with faith, not fear. When you truly believe that love is not outside of you, but attracted to the clarity within you, everything shifts. Here's something to try. Every morning, before you check your phone, before your coffee, before the world floods in, say this out loud to your reflection. I desire connection. I deserve love. I radiate worth. Say it like it's already true. Say it until your body believes it more than your doubts. That's how you reprogram the mind. And remember, just like you wouldn't expect toned abs from one gym session, you can't expect deep connection without daily alignment. Repetition builds reality. When you desire from power, not lack, men feel it. You walk differently. You pause before replying. You don't overgive or over-explain. You become a woman who knows what she's calling in and doesn't rush it. That's the kind of desire that draws someone in and makes him wonder, what is it about her that I can't shake? Now that your desire has been tuned like a fine instrument, wait until you see what happens when you combine that clarity with the next ingredient, faith in your own magnetic value without needing to chase or convince. Because when you stop trying to earn love and start expecting it, you flip the entire game. Stick with me. What's coming next will show you why faith, not force, makes you unforgettable. Number 2, faith that attracts, not chasing, that repels. Let's talk about faith, not the kind that waits around hoping the universe drops a soulmate on your doorstep, but the kind that knows love is inevitable because you've already claimed it in your mind. Napoleon Hill said, "Faith is the head chemist of the mind." And when it comes to relationships, that chemistry is either magnetic or repelling. You choose the formula. See, men don't fall in love with women who chase. They fall for women who radiate. Think about it. When you walk into a room with calm certainty, not arrogance, not coldness, but faith, you shift the entire atmosphere. Why? Because you're not looking to be chosen. You've already chosen yourself. Now let's flip the common script. A lot of women think if they show more interest, text first, double check his vibe, bend just a little to make it work, he'll see their value. But what he really feels is energetic debt. It's not your words, it's the vibration behind them. And when that vibration says, "I don't trust love will find me unless I work for it," you unknowingly push it away. That's not your fault. We're taught that love is earned through effort. But Hill knew the truth. Faith must come before manifestation. So how do you build this faith? With repetition, with presence, with what Hill called auto-suggestion, the daily reconditioning of your thoughts to match your desires. Think of it like watering a plant. At first, nothing changes, but over time, the roots grow deeper than you can see. Here's your daily ritual. Look in the mirror each morning and say, with grounded authority, "I am desired, I am chosen, I am magnetic to what is already mine." Say it slowly. Say it like you're announcing it to the universe and your own cells, because you are. When you live in faith, you become a lighthouse. You don't move, you shine. And the right man, the one aligned with your energy, feels that clarity like gravity. He won't be able to explain it, but something about you will pull him in. Not because you chased, but because you believed. And next, we're going even deeper. Because when faith meets emotional self-control, you become not just attractive, but unforgettable. Stay close. What's coming will show you how to command attention without ever raising your voice. Number 3, emotional self-mastery creates unconscious influence. Let's pull back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood truths in love. Men don't fall in love with your words. They fall in love with your energy, your tone before you speak, your stillness in conflict, your ability to stay calm when others react. Napoleon Hill taught that you have absolute control over just one thing, your thoughts. And in relationships, that control is your quiet superpower. Emotional self-mastery isn't about pretending to be okay. It's about mastering your mind so fully that your emotions serve you, not sabotage you. Think of it like this. A man walks into a room and sees 2 women. One is beautiful, loud, expressive, but her energy is chaotic, needing to be seen. The other is calm, grounded, softly smiling to herself. She's not waiting for anyone to notice her. She already belongs. Guess which woman he can't stop thinking about every single time? That's emotional mastery in motion. It's not about suppressing emotion. It's about guiding it. Directing your energy with the same care Hill spoke of when he said, you either control your mind or it controls you. When you're reactive, over-explaining, over-apologizing, or spiraling because he didn't text back, you hand over your power. But when you stay centered, you create unconscious influence. He may not understand why, but he feels it. He feels your composure in his gut. And that grounded energy creates trust, fascination, and respect. So here's a ritual to try before any interaction, whether it's a date, a text, or a tough conversation. Take 60 seconds, place your hand on your belly. Inhale through your nose, hold, exhale slowly. Then ask yourself, what energy am I about to bring into this space? That one moment of mindfulness? It resets everything. You stop chasing outcomes and start owning your presence. Men don't remember every word you say, but they remember how you made them feel, and when your emotional frequency is calm, intentional, and self-directed, it feels like peace. In a world of chaos, peace is magnetic. And this is just the beginning, because next we're going to unlock the rarest quality of all, the kind that creates mystery and makes your absence just as powerful as your presence. It's the art of not needing to be chosen and becoming unforgettable because of it. Number 4, the power of controlled detachment. Now let's talk about one of the most misunderstood but most magnetic qualities a woman can embody, controlled detachment. Napoleon Hill said, every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. And sometimes that adversity is silence, it's space. It's not texting him back the second your phone lights up. It's choosing to pull your energy inward, not out of punishment, but out of power. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you've stopped negotiating your value based on someone else's attention. You don't chase, you don't beg, you don't emotionally pace back and forth while waiting for a reply. Why? Because you've planted the seed Hill was talking about. Belief in your own worth. And that belief grows silently in your absence. Here's a truth that flips the entire dynamic. Men are not drawn to availability, they're drawn to value. And value doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers. Think of a luxury item behind glass. You don't touch it. You lean in, you wonder. That's what your controlled detachment does. It creates space. And in that space, curiosity is born. Desire begins to stretch its legs. So you may be thinking, but won't he lose interest if I pull back? No, not if the energy you're radiating is calm, assured, and emotionally full. You're not playing games. You're simply no longer playing yourself. Controlled detachment is not punishment. It's trust. Trust that what is aligned will stay, and what's not won't need to be chased. Let's get practical. The next time you feel the urge to reach out first just to feel reassured, pause, put your phone down, light a candle, put on music, do something that fills you. Take yourself out of the frequency of needing and into the rhythm of being, because the woman who's not available for every moment, she becomes the moment. And when he starts to feel that space, that energetic withdrawal, if he's meant for you, he'll feel it not as rejection, but as invitation. Invitation to rise, to earn, to lean in. And if he doesn't, beautiful. You just cleared space for someone who will. Next, we'll take this deeper, because detachment is just the doorway. What you wear, how you walk, how you signal your worth without saying a word. That's where the non-verbal magic begins. And trust me, your style is saying more than you think. Number 5, visualization of the desired relationship. Let's unlock one of the most potent and overlooked tools in love, visualization. Napoleon Hill famously said, "See it, believe it, achieve it." And yes, that applies to love just as much as it applies to building an empire or writing a best-selling novel. Your mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined reality and the one in front of you. That's why what you consistently picture with feeling eventually becomes what you experience. But here's the twist. You're not just visualizing him, you're visualizing you, the most magnetic, emotionally alive version of yourself. Most women picture love like a movie montage, flowers, texts, passion, Paris. Nothing wrong with that. But real manifestation begins when you visualize how it feels to be with someone who respects you, values your mind, meets your depth, and doesn't flinch at your truth. You're not picturing the man, you're embodying the emotion. And that shift, it sends instructions to your subconscious, and it listens. Hill believed the subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant, especially with repetition and emotion, must grow. So if your internal world is full of images of being abandoned, overlooked, or almost chosen, guess what keeps showing up? But when you flood your imagination with emotional certainty of being cherished, honored, and adored, you build subconscious momentum toward that experience. Here's your daily practice. Each morning, before the noise of the world hits, close your eyes. Take 3 slow breaths. Now imagine sitting across from someone whose energy feels like home. He's listening, fully. There's no anxiety, you're not wondering how to keep him, you're simply being. Imagine him saying, "You make me feel calm. I've never met anyone like you." Let the words sink in. Let your body feel the warmth of being seen, not for performance but for presence. Do this for 5 minutes a day. That's it. But here's the key. Feel it as if it's happening now. Smile like you already know it's coming. Because your energy doesn't wait for proof. It creates it. When you see it and you believe it, the world starts moving around you differently. You'll notice how fast you stop tolerating what no longer fits that vision. You'll speak more clearly, choose more carefully, and attract more powerfully. And what's coming next will turn that inner clarity into outer signal through your style, scent, posture, and the unspoken messages your presence delivers before you even say a word. Because next we're talking about embodiment. And once you master that, rooms won't forget you even if you say nothing at all. Number 6, mastery of communication without over-explaining. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated skills in attraction, communication. Not just talking, but the kind of communication that leaves a mark, commands respect, and lingers in someone's mind long after the words are gone. Napoleon Hill was crystal clear. There is no substitute for definiteness of purpose. And when it comes to how you speak, especially to a man you're building connection with, clarity is magnetic. Too many women try to connect by explaining, over-explaining, and then re-explaining their explanations. You think you're helping him understand you, but what you're really doing, energetically, is saying, "I need to prove myself." Hill would call that scattered energy. And scattered energy doesn't create desire, it creates noise. Here's the secret. What creates impact isn't how much you say, but how you say it. A well-placed pause, a confident maybe, a knowing smile instead of a full backstory. Those things are irresistible. Why? Because they leave room. Room for curiosity, room for mystery, room for him to lean in. Let me give you a little example. Imagine you're on a date and he asks, "So what's your story?" You could dive into your entire relationship history, your fears, your ex's bad habits, your childhood trauma. Or you could smile and say, "That's a long one. Maybe I'll tell you someday." That one sentence? Way more intriguing than 10 minutes of vulnerability you weren't even sure he earned yet. Hill believed in purposeful action. That includes purposeful words. So here's your practice. The next time you're speaking to someone, whether it's a potential partner, a co-worker, or a stranger, pause before you answer. Breathe. Let silence be your ally. Then speak. Not to fill space, but to create impact. Choose words like you choose perfume, intentionally, knowing they'll linger. And here's a fun challenge. Avoid explaining yourself for 24 hours. If you say no, don't justify it. If you feel something, don't cushion it. Speak directly and with softness. Watch how people respond. You'll be shocked how powerfully a calm, confident "I just felt like it" can land. Men don't remember every sentence, but they remember the feeling you gave them. And mystery, when paired with confidence, creates emotional gravity. Next, we're going to wrap that gravity in physical expression. Because your style, your scent, the way you carry your body, that is your energy's first language. Get ready to become unforgettable without even speaking. Number 7, building a magnetic identity through self-worth. Let's get into the foundation of true, lasting attraction, self-worth. Napoleon Hill didn't tiptoe around it when he said, "Self-confidence is the first requisite to great undertakings." And let's be honest, love is one of the greatest undertakings of all. But here's the twist. Men don't fall in love with women who try to please their way into being chosen. They fall in love with women who move like they've already chosen themselves. And now, don't confuse self-worth with ego. This isn't about being intimidating or too much. It's about being so deeply rooted in your own value that you stop measuring your worth by how someone else responds to you. A magnetic identity is built on this truth: I belong to myself first. Let's take a real-life example. 2 women walk into a room. One is adjusting her dress, checking who's looking, shrinking her laugh, scanning the crowd. The other? She walks slowly, shoulders back, chin soft, not stiff. She smiles, not because she's being watched, but because she's amused by her own thoughts. Guess which woman people orbit around? The second, every time. That's not luck, that's self-worth, expressed through posture, presence, and energy. Hill taught that confidence is not just a nice trait, it's the fuel of all success. And here's how you channel that into your daily life. Start with this affirmation each morning. Right before you open your phone or pour your coffee, I am valuable, I am whole, I radiate self-respect. Say it with your shoulders rolled back, standing tall, feet planted like roots into the ground. This isn't performance, it's embodiment. And here's a quick posture ritual. Every time you walk into a room, imagine your dreams are living behind your eyes. Let your steps land like each one is a declaration. I am here. I belong. I do not shrink. This physical alignment tells your nervous system and everyone around you that you're grounded, you're safe, and you are not for sale. The truth is, self-worth whispers what desperation screams. It's not loud, but it's unforgettable. And when a man feels that energy, he doesn't just notice you, he remembers you, because your presence doesn't ask for approval, it teaches how to treat you. And now we arrive at the final, most powerful piece of all. Because when all of this, your desire, your faith, your energy, your mystery, and your worth are in alignment, there's only one thing left to master: the art of persistence in authenticity. And once you own that, you're no longer just attractive, you're unstoppable. Number 8, persistence in being your authentic self. Now we arrive at the final, most powerful principle of all: persistence, but not in the way you've been taught. Not the keep proving your worth, keep checking your phone, or keep adjusting to be what he wants kind of persistence. No, we're talking about the kind that Napoleon Hill defined when he wrote, "Persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel." And if you've ever held steel in your hand, you know it doesn't bend for anyone. It holds its form. That's what your authenticity must become. In a world that constantly tells women to tweak, edit, soften, accommodate, and filter themselves into acceptability, choosing to stay exactly as you are is an act of quiet rebellion. And yet, that is the very thing that makes you magnetic over the long term. Yes, charm might catch his eye. Yes, mystery might hold his attention. But it is consistency in who you are, without apology, that earns his respect and plants you in his soul. Here's the truth. Men might be intrigued by who you pretend to be, but they fall in love with the woman who doesn't change just to be loved. Why? Because she becomes rare. She becomes real. And that kind of energy cuts through the noise like steel through silk. Now, I know what might be whispering in your mind. But what if I lose him by being too real? Then hear me clearly, you're not losing him. You're shedding the illusion. Because anyone you have to become someone else to keep was never yours to begin with. Hill taught that persistence was the difference between temporary excitement and lifelong achievement. And it's the same in love. Don't be the woman who shows up whole for a month, then starts shrinking once she's afraid he'll leave. Be the woman who trusts that what's real doesn't require constant performance. Here's your practice. Every time you feel that old urge to morph, pause. Put a hand on your heart. Say, "I choose me again." Let that moment anchor you back into yourself. Let it remind you that staying aligned with your truth is not a risk. It's a strategy. And when you persist in being your full self, you stop chasing love and start attracting the kind that can handle you, that respects you, that stays not because you bent, but because you stood. Now imagine tying all of this together. Every principle, every shift, every spark of transformation. What if you became the kind of woman whose presence alone creates change in others? That's where we go next, because now it's not just about how you attract love, it's about how you transcend it. What's coming will reveal why the woman who walks away in her full power is the one who's never forgotten. So, let's bring it all together. You've learned that real magnetism isn't about trying harder. It's about aligning deeper. From desire to detachment, from visualization to voice, your power lies in persistence, presence, and self-worth. Napoleon Hill didn't just teach how to succeed, he taught how to become. And now you're not just attracting love, you're embodying it. If this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video, subscribe for more wisdom that transforms from the inside out, and share it with a woman you know is ready to rise. Your journey to magnetic love has just begun.